So another hot day, I was able to get the boat up under my storage carport, and we're going to drop this lower unit so we can change the impeller pump. So the first thing I got to do is drain the outdrive, which has a flathead screw right here. I got the gear shifter in forward gear. You want to make sure you got it in gear. Pull it off. Let's hope I can get this screw out of here. Let's go. It's kind of hard to get out. Oh man, it's tight. Let's get a bigger screwdriver. So let me find a bigger screwdriver. So I got the boat up under some shade because of course it's 90 something degrees again. And I got the drive unit tilted up right now so I can get this drain screw out, because I'm going to pull the lower unit so I can be able to pull the pump out and we'll drop the lower unit, brother. Pull the pump out. But first you got to drain the oil. I got the lower unit in gear. I got an easy out. Or not an easy out, but a impact driver there. Thing is hard to get out of there. I tried it with a flathead screwdriver. Yeah, that's the way. Come on, budge. I recommend you get you one of these. That screw is in there tight. So I'm probably going to have to go up there and tilt it down. But for right now, some good looking oil in there. Good looking oil. Nice and clean. Need to turn that fan off. So I'm gonna go up here and tilt it down, turn that fan the other way, blowing it everywhere. I really hate to drain it, but you gotta drain it. I think you have to loosen this vent up here on top. That lets it come out of there more. So there's a vent on top. Right here that you have to take loose. And that lets the air, trapped air in there, come out. Lets it drain. So I'm gonna go up here and tilt it down where we can drain all of it out. almost drained out of there. So it's almost drained out. That's some good looking oil though. Looks fresh. Like I said, I really want to pull this thing apart, but I'm scared of the impeller because this thing had overheating issues, I guess. And to be safe than sorry, I'd rather just change it. Thing's draining forever. So I'm gonna let this drain, and then we gotta loosen these screws right here. So we can drop this lower section and get into that. So we got the lower unit all drained of oil. We got it in here, and we got our drain screw back in. Now if you remember in the last video, we got this thing running. The impeller seemed to be working, but I was afraid to run it like it is. So the way the oil looks, it looks like somebody's been in there. They might have changed it, but like I said, I'm not going to take any chances. So we're going to go ahead and just pull it out of there. Check it for ourselves. Get our tools. I can see some wear marks on them, so that lets me know somebody's been in here. Got them super tight. It's been sitting up for, I want to say 5 years. I think it was last registered in 17. Well, it was last registered in 2020. But the registration sticker never got put on. It's been sitting for a while. Maybe that's when it broke down. $2020 or something, and I just never I'm just going to leave that one just kind of hand started. I don't want it to just fall out of there. Plus I'm going to go and get something I can set up under here so we can rest it on there just in case we got to unhook something in there. Alright, so I went and got a cushion with a milk crate up under it. So when I pull this thing off, I don't want it to go flying down and hit the ground and tear up something. Oh, there is a bolt at the front. Someone broke the speedometer hose for the speedometer. Yeah, 5/8 at the front. I didn't know. I didn't see it way around here. Get to something shorter. Tight. Should be it. Starting to see a gap. Okay, it should be loose. Got all the bolts out, so you should be able to wiggle it down. I'm going to move this, but I'm going to put the cushion on the ground. Right. A little Euro leaking. You know about that. So it's off of here. So now we just got to pull these screws loose and see what the impeller looks like. Came off fairly easy. That's got broke. That's where the speedometer hooks. A little rubber hose. So we need to get some tools and get this thing popped up. So we'll be able to work on it easy. So let me get some tools and stuff and apart. I'll probably take it up to the shop where we can really take it apart and look at it. Might. Okay, so I decided to prop it up right here. You see this little rubber bushing here is broken. It's got a crack in it. I think that keeps the grease from getting down inside of the impeller, I guess. Should be able to pull this little gasket. Looks new. Color looks good. I don't see any markings in there. It don't look all dry rotted and cracked up. Someone's changed it. This gasket still looks good right here. Could use some more silicone on there, but yeah, the impeller impeller shaft looks, the impeller looks good, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and change it anyway. I don't see any stress cracks in it. But I think it'd be best to go ahead and change it. The housing looks good, so I'm just gonna change the impeller itself, and that way it'll be new, and I won't have to worry about it. So, as you can see, this impeller, it moves around in there. That's how it works. It oscillates inside of the housing. As you can see, how it's tighter on this side, and up here it's not as smushed in. So as it turns, it's oscillating the water through this vent here and sending it up to your engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to the boat shop and see can I get that little O-ring thing that goes there, and we'll get that new, and then we'll put it back together and move on. Okay, so I ordered the Quicksilver impeller kit. It's the impeller kit for a Mecruiser for your pump and your drive. And it's got everything in there that we need. Here's the new impeller. It's nice and soft. And with our old impeller, it looks good, but it's hard as a rock. Let's take it out of there. So she's pretty, she still got some flimsy to it. It was working, just kind of stiff. It's been in there for a while, but we're gonna put a new one in anyway. Like I say, the housing got some small grooves, but it's not nothing, look like a little sand got in there, but it's not nothing major that'll tear up the impeller. So I'm gonna get a rag and we'll clean that out. So it's been replaced. I think someone ran their boat hot, and what happened was they put a new impeller in it, but it was too late. It already did the damage, because this has been into before, Like I said, the gasket still looks good. They didn't put any sealing on it, but we're gonna put on the gasket. And so the impeller, I know there's different ways you can do it. You can put it on the shaft and slide it down there, and then you can twist it clockwise. Twist your drive unit clockwise, and it will go on. Or you can put it in housing if you want to, and wiggle it down there. But you're trying to get this in the housing while this is on the impeller. I've seen it can be a task. So we're gonna try it this way first. But you wanna make sure you when you pull these impellers out, you put them back in the same direction as the old one, because that's the way it's gonna turn. So when we pulled it out, it was going like this. It's in there like that. So the fins are actually bent, curved up clockwise, I believe, yeah. So we're gonna put the new one in same way. They're kind of a job to get in there. We'll try it this way first, and if it don't work this way, then we'll try it the other way. But I've seen some people put it in. You can also put it in and turn the shaft, and it will get it to turn, which we're probably going to have to do it that way, because I can see now that these little fins not gonna act right. Well, we might can get it. I doubt it though. It's amazing that something like this pumps water out of the lake into your boat. We're probably still gonna have to turn it so we can get it to go in the right direction. But I got it in there. So when we turn it, it should be turning this way. So it'll be clockwise. So it'll be actually turning like this. Okay, let's let that be for a minute. I can already see it's wrong. Try and get it in here a little better. If you're not looking at it, it'll confuse you. So I think we pretty much got it in there. So as it's turning, this is actually turning like that. So I got it in there. I had to look at it again. I had one of them going the wrong direction, but it should line up pretty good. There's a little like key that goes here that we got to put on. So let's take this off. We want to clean all this crap off of here. This gasket here looks like the original gasket. It's all cracked up. We got this plate. Just look at the kit. only come with one gasket. Oh, it has two gaskets. So this will be the top gasket, and then this will be the bottom gasket, and the plate in the middle. So whoever changed this last time, looked like they only did just the top gasket and the impeller, because this thing here is all destroyed. It's all cracked up. And this don't look like a newer gasket here. This seems to be old, so we'll get all this gasket off. And have to get a razor blade or something. I don't want to drop gasket material down in there where the water comes up. So I'm going to stick this towel in there. It's easier to get it out of here, so I don't want that to suck up there and tap the impeller. Let me get a razor blade. Think nothing to go in there. I think that's where the oil is. Actually, it is. Man, it's got dirt daubers, nest, and all kind of crap right there. Let's see, can we get it to scoot off the side? Easy. There we go. You gotta remember, there's like a little O-ring here too that sits right in the housing. That's gotta be in there. I think that's where your oil comes up. Not positive. First time for everything for me. I don't think I've ever done one, but she's pretty crunchy though. That gasket was definitely on a leak. Like I said, I don't think they ever changed it. Get something else to wipe with. Just takes patience. You gotta get all this gasket material out of there. Probably take the air hose, pull most of that out. I want to make sure this is flat surface, so it's sealed. And we'll put some silicone on there. Move all this back. It's getting dirt everywhere. It's like a dirt dauber's nest. Built up. Now my little fitting for the speedometer is broken. So I got to order this fitting here. That's where the hose comes down for your speedometer on your dash. I didn't notice. I thought maybe the hose would snap back on. It was already broken. Someone, when they took it off, they had broke it. But you can get to it with the drive unit on the boat. That's what I've seen. I got it on order, but it won't be here for the next couple of days. Everything's just slow right now on the shipping. If I knew it was broke earlier before I took it apart, I would have had already ordered it, but no biggie. Who needs a speedometer anyway? Just do 100 miles an hour through the wake zone. Or no wake zone. Get in trouble for that. I'm gonna pull all this definitely where the water comes up. I don't see anything wrong with this piece here. It seems to be still intact, so we're not going to bother it. I have seen that you can change this plunger looking thing out, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, so I don't know. It's not all cracked up and so I'm not gonna worry about it. Like I said, the water pump was working before I took it apart. It's just that I was a little leery of it because I didn't know if that would cause it to run hot. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and change it. So anyway, we got our gasket. So this will go here. Like that. Because the plate has a little hole in it here. So I bet you water comes through it somehow. So when that plate's on, that's on like that. But we got a new plate in the kit. It comes with all the instructions. There's that little keyway thing that slides on here. The O-ring, I don't know what that's for. Number 5, it says O-ring. Oh, that O-ring goes into the tube. There's a tube that comes down that goes into the housing. So there's a plastic tube and those O-rings are going there. So I guess I have to pull that off. So I bet you they haven't replaced it. So you got your metal gasket and plate. So they didn't say anything about silicone. Let's see. They didn't say anything about putting silicone on there. Looks like to me you just put it on dry. Because the gasket already has a silicone base on it. thing got all kind of O-rings and jibber jabber. So you get the bag of it. What I see, they just putting it on dry. So plate will go on like that. And the screws are outside on the boat. I left them back there. I gotta go back there and get them. There's really no wrong way you can put this on. It'll go on either way, look like. Oh, the hose on right up there. Got a lot of different so we're gonna say it goes on like that. And I'm gonna go get the screws so we can put the housing on. Okay, so we got the screws. Here's your little keyway thing. This is what keeps the impeller spinning so it won't slip. So I'm gonna attempt to put this on. Let's see here, we probably can turn it, try and turn it to where we can line it up. Also, I like to mention too, if you get lost on which way this thing is spinning, you can always look at your old plate. If you don't wipe it off, you can see a faint marking of which way that thing was spinning if it was put in right. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's like little marks. So that way you know, or you can just take a picture of it and then you'll know which way your fan's supposed to turn. If you put it in and it ain't pumping, shut it off. Something's wrong. Let's see if we can get this on here. Just like that. Now I have seen some people, like I said, put it in, put the impeller on first and then turn the drive unit not counterclockwise, but clockwise. But I think this is the more easiest way to do it. It just slides right on there. And I didn't put any silicone or anything. It didn't say required it, so that gasket slipped. I guess that's why you would want to put silicone, because the gasket will slip. Make sure that gasket is lined up. Don't want to screw this up. Now I'm thinking you might can put a small bead of silicone around the outside edges. That'll just kind of keep, you know, water from getting in. We'll probably put a small bead around there. Keeps the water in and the oil in. I mean, keeps the water out and just keeps the oil from leaking out. So we're gonna snug her down. You don't have to put gorilla force on it because this is like pot metal almost. You don't want to smush it. You just want to torque it down to where it's tight. Not too tight, not too loose. One more. So that's installed. Like I say, we got the little O-ring. Don't forget to put it. It goes right there. Which the kit came with a new one. So a little O-ring that goes right there. So there's also this O-ring here. My old one was cracked in half and it's got to slide. Might want to put a little grease on here. I think I got some lithium grease. This is kind of old. That'll help it slide on there. And it'll help it slide into the upper unit. We'll put some grease on there. It did have some oil, a little oil inside of the housing when I took it apart the first time, and I believe that's because this seal was cracked and you can see some oil inside of there. So that needed to be replaced anyway. So we got that on. These other O-rings in the kit, they go inside that plastic tube, and it comes with some other different stuff, some other different items, but they use these on a lot of different drive units. So like I say, this little fitting here for the speedometer, it just screws off, and your new one to just screw right on there. And see any other pieces we can replace. So basically that's it. I mean, we go to the boat and we reassemble and fire it up. So I went ahead and pulled this tube out. This is the tube that connects to the top of the pump housing, and it was stuck inside of the unit, which it slides out. There's an O-ring in there, and someone has put silicone. Let's see if we can get it out. If we can get it out, we'll just replace it. And I think there's an O-ring up in there where the shaft goes. So here's the O-ring here. So the ones that come in the kit is the one that you replace. Someone just put a bunch of silicone on there. I guess to make it slide on there easier. We'll probably do the same, but I want to go ahead and just replace it. Utilize the kit as needed. So it looks like that's going to be the O-ring. Let's see, does it fit? I'm going to slide this back up there. Guess that'll be the easiest way to do it. So it fits right in there. This should sit on top of the housing. Really sliding on there pretty easy. So as this is on your housing, it sits like that. So that O-ring is right around that. And then this just slides right back on that. There's like a metal tube. They actually show you in the picture. Right here. There's the plastic thing. There's not an O-ring up here. I didn't see one. Well, it's saying that both O-rings is supposed to go on there, but I didn't see another O-ring. Unless it's missing. Oh, it is an O-ring. It's all the way in there. Wish I had better lighting. So you have to get in there and dig it out. I didn't see it. That O-ring there is for the tube. That thing not working out. It's never been changed before. Didn't know that. See what looking at the instructions does for you? There it is. So there's the other O-ring there. Like I say, it sits back behind this first one. And that other O-ring, I believe, goes around the shaft, the upper part of the drive unit, where the shaft goes into the gear. I seen the O-ring up there, so I'll show you here in a little bit. This one's gonna be kind of hard to get back in there. Wasn't too bad. And I'll get a light and show you the other one up under there. Alright, so up inside the unit here, right there is where your shaft goes. I'm trying to focus in on it. That's the water pipe that plastic thing goes on, but right there where you see the grease in there, there's an O-ring right in the lip of that. So that's where that other O-ring goes. So we'll have to get it out. Have to find something long to get up in there and change it. So I was going to pull that out of there and that's not an O-ring in there, that's a seal. So I don't know where that other O-ring goes. We're not going to worry about it. So I ain't going to pull that seal out of there and something starts leaking. But that rubber piece there butts up against that. So we'll just leave that alone and go ahead and put it back together. Well, ran into a problem. I forgot one piece. First thing, I guess you noticed that fin is broken off on one side. It was like that when I got it. So the only way you can fix that is by replacing the whole lower unit, which I'm not going to do it right now. So we're just going to leave that just like it is. Another thing is I forgot to put on the lower trim tag or trim tab is what they call it. So this bolt's right up under the unit here, and it has an Allen head screw that goes down through there to hold it up. And you gotta have an Allen head screw because the hole in the upper unit is only big enough for you to get an Allen head wrench down through there. So I gotta find a bolt. It didn't come with the bolt. I know what thread it is. So this has got to go on first. Really it can go on last, but I would rather take it so I can get the right size bolt. So we will just get a bolt, and then actually you got to leave it off because there's a screw that goes straight up through there that bolts to the unit. So I can actually go ahead and install it, and I know what thread it is, and then we'll put this on last. So we got this thing running off the original fuel pump, and it just shut down. So the original fuel pump down here it's not going to cut it. So we're just going to run the fuel pump I already have. And I was digging through my stash, and I found, after I made all this, I found the correct tubing. Sorry if the camera's fogging up, it's kind of early in the morning. I found the correct tubing for the Edelbrock carburetor. What this does, you remove that fitting there, and you put this on there, and it will let the tube run down the side of the carburetor, kind of like this here. So we're going to put that on there, and like I say, we're going to run the fuel pump that I've been running. I don't know why the camera's fogging up. And I will just worry about getting the original fuel pump later. So it's just 2 wires. We're just going to run off the wires that goes to the original fuel pump. So when you turn it over or whatever, it'll pump the gas up there to it. And like I say, we're going to put this on the side of the carburetor. This is 8126. I think I got this from O'Reilly's. You can see how old the package is. It's been a long time. So we're going to disconnect the original fuel pump, which is hooked up, and we'll get this other fuel pump hooked up. And I also found a breather for it. It's not the marine style breather, but I got one on order. But we can just put that on there for now. Since we don't have a cover over the engine, we can run this. The only thing the marine style does is a flame resistant breather, and it just, if the carburetor backfires or anything, it puts the fire out, keeps the flames from igniting the cover that you have over your engine or stuff on the motor, stuff like that. So since we're wide open, I got to build a cover for it. We're not going to worry about that. The exhaust blower works, so we'll be good with sucking gas fumes out of the inside of the boat. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this fuel line on there, and we'll get it fired back up. Okay, so we've got our metal fuel line hooked to the carb, going down to a 3/8 fuel hose, down to our electric fuel pump, and then over to the water fuel separator. So we should be good to go. It's wired up just like the original pump, where when you go to crank it up and it's running, the fuel pump's running, and there's no toggle switches or none of that. So should be good to go on that. Now it's time to move on to, I got to get a battery box for the battery so it won't be rolling around. And I got this piece of paneling I knocked off here. Got to fix that back up, and then we can start cleaning this thing up and get the seats back in it, and try and hit the lake. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, got this thing out and used a couple of cleaning products and was able to get some of the mold and mildew off of it. Didn't turn out too bad. I did a lot of scrubbing on it. The gel coat's not shiny like it's supposed to be, but some polishing and it should come back pretty clean, pretty shiny anyway. But it looks way a lot better than it did at first. Had a lot of fingerprints, mold, mildew. Got a lot of fingerprints back here where I was throwing tools and toolboxes and all kind of stuff up there. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. I just got to get inside and tidy it up. Got a little shine going on down there. Like I said, it just needs to be polished. But it is bright white. Kind of cloudy today. I don't know if you can see in there. I still got to do the sideboards and put the seats, the center seats back in, clean the dash. But I just wanted to get the trailer and the boat itself pretty tidied up. Plan on taking it out here pretty soon. I didn't want to pull out one old dirty, scrungy boat. Looked like it just came out of a barn somewhere. So gotta get that center windshield. I did find out that the hinges is up there. It's just the outer part of the frame and the glass that's missing. So, but yeah, she looks pretty good to be a 94. So I'm going to grab some lunch, and I'm going to make me some trailer spotters. I don't know if you notice how some boats have PVC pipe that stick off the side of the trailer, that stick a little bit higher than the boat. So when you're bringing it in on the trailer, you'll be able to tell where your trailer's at. You can just go right between the two PVC pipes that you got on the trailer. So I bought some, I think it's 8-foot PVC pipe. I'm gonna make some brackets, and plan on installing them right here on the back of this step. And they're gonna stick up about 6 inches, or about 6 foot, where when I'm bringing the boat in, I can see exactly where the trailer at, and it'll help out a lot if I'm loading it up by myself. I can spot that trailer depending on how deep the water is. So anyway, the Thompson is getting close to set sail. Like I said, the engine's done, impeller's done. Just gotta start cleaning up the interior. I still gotta make a boat cover, a motor cover, the cover that goes over the engine, which I'm gonna try and find some plywood. I like to find a shipping crate that's that same diameter as the engine bay. I can just slip it over the engine and put some material and cup holders in it. The price of plywood skyrocket. I mean, so the good I can find just a shipping crate to put over the engine bay and make a cover out of it. But yeah, she's turning out pretty good. So I'm gonna grab some lunch, put this thing up, and we'll get into something else. Oh yeah, I want to mention also, this is what I use to clean it. This is good for fiberglass. I use this to scrub the oil prints and stuff off. Got this from like Walmart. It's a pearl cleaner. It didn't do as much as I thought it would do, but it got off some. I used some of this grease lightning. Now this stuff here, this CLR, mold and mildew cleaner. Now this stuff here works real good on a boat, on a hull. It is for fiberglass and hard plastics. I can spray it on there and scrub away. I'm not the spokesperson for this stuff, just showing you what I use. But I say this really worked good. This worked good on them oil prints because it's so chalky. With a brush, I was able to get those fingerprints that were all back here on the back. It's got a little bit more marking, a little bit more prints, but this thing was just covered in fingerprints from where I was clamming in and out of the boat, and other people were clamming out, in and out. So it's got this deck nice and clean. I gotta scrub that up with like some gum or something, but it was like some rust stains up here. So just to show you what I use, I know everybody uses their own items, but I would say this was the best to begin with, and then the Comet. And like I said, I don't know about that. It worked pretty good, but not as good as the CLR. So here's the PVC pipe I bought. I actually bought 2 of them, and I got this little cap to go on the end of it. So I'm gonna cut these things off at 6 foot. I think this is a 8-foot pipe, and I'm gonna make me some brackets to bolt it to the side of the fenders. on the trailer. So I'm gonna get this cut off and get all my stuff ready, and then we will attach them. Well, folks, we're taking the Thompson out for the first time. I think it was last out in 2017, and that's when the motor went out, I believe. It had a brand new registration sticker for 2020, but it never made it on the boat. I don't know if they registered it and was planning on getting the engine fixed by then or what, but it's hooked on the truck. Woo. It's hooked on the truck, and it's back there. Sorry about that. I had somebody about to come over on me. And so we're gonna head down here to Mud Island here in Memphis. Take it down here and take it out for the first time. Hopefully we don't have any water leaks or no catastrophic failure. I did notice that the left wheel on the trailer is leaning in. So hopefully it makes it down there and make it back home. I didn't get a chance to check the trailer out, which should have been the first thing I did. But I didn't really notice it until I actually pulled up at the gas station, and the tire was leaning as I was putting gas in it at the back. I noticed. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it makes it down and makes it back to the house, and then we'll address that. But we're gonna get on down here and get this thing unloaded and take it for its first test run. So y'all just hang tight. All right, we're going down. Hard to steer and hold the camera. Sorry about the shaking. It's kind of shaky up here on the dock. I mean on the ramp. Get out, check for leaks before we even unhook. Make sure that we ain't got no surprises coming from the transom. And I'll get back. So we backed her in and checked her for leaks. I didn't see any leaks coming from the transit inside. So we're going to unhook her and fire up, and then hopefully she takes off and does what she's supposed to do. So, how y'all like my trailer spotters I made? PVC pipe. Cool, huh? Alright. Get in the shade? Alright, we'll get in the shade. Woo! Running good, boys and girls. We're still out here cruising away. That's the old Arkansas bridge there. We were just by the new bridge, or the newer bridge. But they're still working on the dang fixed yet. Doing good. Still doing good. Engine ain't blowed up. We're still out here just riding along. We do have like a surging problem when you get over half speed. It starts cutting in and out. And I believe it's getting vacuum locked. It may be in the tank. Hope you can hear me because of this train. Or it could be the hose going into the tank. Could be have a hole in it or something, and when we get to going high speed, it starts sucking air. But other than that, if you hold it at a low speed, it's all right. So all the gauges showing normal. No running hot, so we're good. Maybe one of you guys out there can tell me what this is doing. When this is going high speed, it starts surging real bad. We'll throw you over the damn windshield. Well, folks, we're going to load her back up and take her on back in. It's like 166,000 degrees out here. Like I say, we got a slight surging problem when we get up to like maybe half throttle. I'm believing it's either the fuel filter or it is the tube down in the tank is not leaking gas far enough as we getting up on the plane. So we're just going to go ahead and shut it down and I'll get it back to the shop. But it does run good. There's no overheating. We got good fuel pressure and everything. I tried to get a lot of videos, but with it surging so bad, I had to kind of feather the throttle. And my designated driver don't know how to hold a camera. He wants to put the camera down and while I'm still recording. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and load this thing up. It looks like it's a win right now. We got some small things to take care of. The trim gauge don't read correct, so I got to look at that. When you trim up, it's saying down, and when you trim down, it's saying up. So I don't know what's up with that. It's kind of throwing me off. Got some jet skis up there. Just cranking them up. But anyway, here comes my truck. Let me get on over there, and thank you guys for watching. And there'll be more videos of the Thompson 2200 Carrera. So see y'all later.